to get the most out of class, you got 2 chairs, backs of the chairs facing in, good amount of space between. Then scoot to the front edge of this chair, your sitting chair. Find your central pillar. Hands on your thighs, elbows soft and relaxed, shoulders loose. Breathing in the nose, out the nose or the mouth. Just your basic meditation practice. Long, smooth breathing. Layers of benefit to seated meditation. In this particular context, for balance and gait and walking, it's establishing both the central quality, that central pillar, and on the chair, we get a chance to actually release and relax tension in a way that often we don't when standing because we're concerned about falling or balance issues and that kind of thing. So really see if you can get this quality of letting go through the body, a tension release that dilates, plumps, creates an interior real estate, interior space, so that chunwon can happen. Chunwon is sinking heavy as your means of grounding. So there's this quality of heaviness that a lot of times we're fighting against, that heaviness going down. But in Taoist Tai Chi Qigong thinking, that's exactly what we have to allow to happen. Sort of like in a glass of water with, let's say, a bunch of sediment in it, and it's all stirred up. But as you let that sediment settle, it goes down naturally and creates a base. And so that's this literal quality that we want to feel of settling, sinking heavily down, not pushing down, but allowing a sinking. And then what's left is what they call qingling, which is the levity, the buoyancy, the spacious quality. So a separation of those two qualities in our body. And the breathing helps with that as it opens us, stretches us open, and then softens and melts and releases and allows the sink. And inhale, stretching open, and then exhale. Just take about 8 more breaths like this on your own time. It would be great for you to just do this for 15 minutes. Just sitting, breathing, seeing if you can settle the nerves. You can get the feeling of effortless posture, effortless ground and buoyancy. And a side effect of that is also the mental qualities, mental emotional clearing that meditation offers. But it's a very practical quality we want to cultivate. Four-part breathing, long, smooth inhales with a holding full. And then a long, smooth exhale. Holding empty. Don't inhale right away. And a long, smooth inhale. Holding. Now, with that breath rhythm, the movement. Slide hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back. This on the inhale. Pull those elbows behind you, right? See what I'm doing and mimic it, right? I'm pulling elbows back, shoulder blades back, looking up, arching. Then the hands go forward past the knees, opening the back, hollow Follow the chest, drop the head. Then we'll do it again. Slide the hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back. Arching, looking up. And then hands forward, hollowing the chest, rounding the back, drop the head. Shape shifting, very important. Changing all the way to the arched position. And then smooth, clear transitioning all the way to the rounded, hollow position. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. And again. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale, arch. And settle to the middle. Now, left hand forward, right hand and elbow back, turn. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Center. Twist. One more each way. Back to center and hang your arms nice and loose. Let this side buttock kind of lift off the chair, teeter-totter right at the edge of tipping off the chair, but don't. And then change all the way to the other side, leaning, tipping. This arm loose and long, this hand floating up. And inhale, center. Exhale, lean. Inhale, center. Center. One more each way. And we're back to the middle, pausing there. Scapular range of motion, forward, up, back, down, neutral. Arms hanging so that your arms are loose. Hang your arms by your sides. Forward, up, back, down, neutral. Make sure the prime moving space is the scapula, shoulder, chest junction. Forward, up, back, down, neutral. Continue. And reverse. Back, up, over top, forward, down, loose, back and up, over, forward, under, back, up, over, forward, under, over. And bend your elbows, flare the elbows out, all the way up, down, around and touch. Down, out, and up. Down, around, in, and touch. Down, out, and up. Down, around, touch. Now, elbows straight back. Down, forward, up. Forward, down, back. Down, forward, up. Forward, down, back. Continue. One more. Then go elbows out. Now left hand high, right hand low, cross, wrap around, and then elbows out, switch, cross, out, switch, cross, out, switch, out, down. Sort of the minimum loosening up of the upper body. Let's do the minimum loosening of the lower body. Scoot a little bit back on your chair, very stable. Lift your right knee and draw in this loading movement, and then push away, reload, and then set that foot down. Other leg, loading, pushing, loading, down. Other leg, load, push, load, down. Switch, load, push, load, down, in, load, push, load, down, in, load, push. So just getting freedom of movement. Now the foot and ankle, straighten the leg and point, flex, point, flex. Freedom of movement of the foot and ankle, very important. And then tilt the foot a little in, out, in, out, in, out. Now, in, point, out, flex, that's a circle. So circling. Reverse circling. And down, switch, point and flex. And then tilt the foot a little in, tilt out, in, out, in, out, and circles. Big round full circle. Revert. And down. Scoot forward. Again, all the way to that front edge. Step feet a little wider than hip distance. Lift your toes. Rotations of the leg bones in the hips. Turn internal. Lift the toes. Turn external. Really focusing on this joint, the quad. Internal. External. Internal. External. A few more. Remember the term dynamic separation. We're separating the legs from the hips. We're not yanking them off, but we're trying to find that happy middle state where they're connected through softness, through pliability. And back to neutral. In that same spacious quality, fold, sit vertical, tip back. So we're using this space to change to this folded shape, to the 90-degree vertical, to the tipping back. You want this to be without impediment, without blockage. Problem is our body gets stuck wherever we allow it to get stuck. Wherever we kind of stay for too long, we lose all these other ranges. And then function deteriorates. Hang your arms, slide your feet back, holding at that hip space, arms loose and released out in front of the ankles, and then forward and all the way up nice and tall. Now, just this movement a couple of times. The butt back, notice I did not bend my knees. I also didn't round my back. It looks kind of like I'm rounding my back, but I'm not. All I'm doing is at this joint, sending the hips back, and then vertical. So find that control of being able to just send the bottom back, and then bring the hips neutral, and then even go too far forward, push the hips. You see this loose quality, my arms, they hang. You don't want to jam your back, but there's some range here we want to be able to have. Middle, back, middle, forward. So this freedom of movement, where, again, any tension that you're holding in your body gets revealed here, because we're grabbing to try to stay stable, and Taoist practice tells us actually that keeps us from being stable. Stableness is softness where there's a sinking, and then loose, pliable function. Now use that to sit down and stand up. So we're just folding, folding and sinking. Your butt finds your chair, and you're back. And we do that again. Folding, stay soft and loose. Let the weight stay down underneath your feet and come up loose, soft, and easy. Hips a little forward. And sit. And again, when you get good at this, you can use momentum as well, because sometimes, right, to stand up, we go, oh, okay, kind of like a wave flowing. So eventually, if you're relaxed enough, you can work on that where you're going, oh, I got to get up, let's say, a little faster. We can go, and it's fine. But if you stay relaxed, that works. The moment you tense up, you get yourself in trouble. And so speed comes back to us through soft, loose, open, pliable. Come all the way up. Now do a few where you don't sit on the chair, you just fold, and now allow a little bit of rounding through the back, this bowing through the back, and then rise back up. So let that spinal column get this sort of sea kelp quality where we let there be a little slouchiness, a little hollowing in the front, where we sink and rise, sink. One. Now, you keep your chair right behind you, please. Don't move your chair. Just because I'm moving mine, you don't move yours. I'm just doing what I need for my space. Now, you should have a chair on your right side. Come over to that chair. Let's do this series here. There's a little like functional movement challenge series. So hands are here if you need it, but for this first one, try to go no hands and go a little bit to the balls of the feet, back to the middle, and then a little bit to the heels, just a little bit. Try to keep this vertical line. That vertical line, when we tip forward, can create a sort of slant angle, but we don't create the same slant angle when we go back. In fact, we almost create a C-like curve, right? There's this back to the heels, and then this forward to the toes, and then back to the heels. This one's really important at showing us where our middle is. So there's a place inside here in the middle where, whether I'm in the front or I'm in the back, this is where the internal equilibrium is retained. This tip and tip. Now, stay in your toes, hands on the chair so you can fully lift your heels all the way up, and then lower your heels. Fingers stay on the chair as you tip to your heels and try to pull the balls of the feet up off the ground. And then down. And then forward into those toes and lift. Down and then back into your heels. Pull the toes up. Down. A couple more. Forward and up. Down. Back and lift. And down. Last one. This is very important for lower body strength and also pliability, this adaptive quality of dealing with changing of equilibrium. Now, hands. Place the heels of the hands on the back of the chair. Walk your feet back. Now, from that same hip space that I've been talking about the whole time, fold. Legs stay pretty straight so that you get this stretch through the backs of the legs, stretch through the back of the body, stretch through the shoulders. So this downward dog position, so important. Unlocking where we tend to get locked up. Now, coming out of it a little bit, chest up, hips forward a bit, and then we go back in. Hip hinge, arms are straight. Fold, stretching shoulders back. And one more time, chest up, hips a little forward. And back into the position. Now, we're going to flow into and out of this position. So exhale as you go into that fold. Inhale as you bring the chest up, hips forward. Exhale as you go into the fold. Inhale as you bring chest up, hips forward. Two more. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Chest up, hips forward. One more. Exhale, fold. So again, the positions are important, but the movement between, getting free. Now, chest up, hips forward, walk forward. Stand vertical, all the way tall. Turn and face the front again. So again, make sure you're standing up straight there, Chris. All the way straight. Get your head up, get your body up, get your chest above your hips. Stand up tall. Stand up straight. Stand up straight. Chris, it looks like you're like this still. So go close enough to the chair to stand all the way up, and then turn and face forward. Right hand touching your right side chair. Turn your right foot out 5 degrees, and then put your left foot in front, just out in front here. Right, out in front. Now, put your left hand on your left thigh, hip hinge. As you hip hinge, fold. Wherever you feel that stretch in your left leg, the straightened leg, you can stay there. Over time, as the hips hinge more and things open up, you can slide the hand out and actually let the back round, let the head go down, and then come all the way up. And fold at the hips. Let that right knee bend a soft amount. Fold down and coming up. So again, just think freedom of movement to shape change is this idea. If balance feels pretty good, you can take your right hand on your thigh so that this hand rests on this thigh as if you fold, the other hand goes down. And then back up. And then we go again. Hip hinge, fold, and up. One more time. Hip hinge. Come up. Now, you got this foot here that you just stretched. Step it back and make it the full leg and put your right foot behind you. Change angles. Sorry. Foot behind you. So your weight's in that left leg, your right foot behind. I know I'm saying opposite my legs, but it's because I'm your mirror. And then tip forward. So this could be your whole practice right here. Back foot touching the ground. Look at how my torso is tipped. With this back leg and my torso, there's a straight line. And you're using your chair for balance. And then to the degree that you can, go to this shape. So you've got a straight leg with the ground, your other leg is lifted, and you're folding. And then we come all the way up to vertical. So there's degrees of challenge, right? The first degree is fold and bring the toe back. This could be your whole posture right here, just the toe behind you, your body tip, and then little by little, folding, folding. And as you're doing it, have in your mind this idea that there is a middle pivot or a middle equilibrium point that is remaining sort of functionally still. Even though there's all movement, everything's moving, but there's a functional quality of equilibrium or stillness inside of this transition. One more. Back up to standing. So that series on the other leg. So side step, make your way safely to the other side. And let's do, turn your left foot out a little, right foot out in front, heel touching this leg empty. And then from the hips, back, slide your right hand down the thigh to the knee, possibly even further, just to wherever that edge is. And then rise all the way up the same. And then hip hinge, so that same equilibrium point. Folding all the way. Rise all the way. Fold. All. Rise. The more you practice, the more you polish. The more you polish, the more you feel safe and courageous enough to be relaxed through these movements. At first, we're tense because there's a sort of a challenge or a threat. But eventually you can feel that, oh, my best bet is to be soft and loose. Now, again, you've got that foot in front. Bring it back, put the weight in it, and then take your other foot behind you, touch the toe, and again, we want this tip. So the head, the shoulders, the hips, all the way down through the back leg is one straight line. And then just the amount that you can. Torso goes down, leg comes up. And then from your middle equilibrium, back to the middle. Foot behind, torso tip. So all these different movements that we're doing, this is more of a yoga position. The down dog is more of a yoga position. But all of it, reason it's Taoist in its nature is that it's all trying to cultivate and inform your middle pivot. Because when you have your middle pivot, then you feel like you're in the cockpit of your body and you can operate it best. Doesn't mean all the symptoms go away, doesn't mean everything's perfect. It's just giving you the best chance for balance, adapting, and vertical. All right, come back to your first chair and stand vertical. No hands if possible. Soft legs. So notice if you lock up right away, release, relax. Feel that heaviness go down, lightness through your body as best you can. Consider your middle equilibrium point represented by belly button straight deep into your body to the middle, and move from there as you change your weight more to your right leg, less in your left, and then more to your left and less in your right. Notice how I'm not leaning. That's normally what happens. People are stuck here and they lean because they're afraid to move this middle. So they're doing all this other stuff to try to resist the scary quality of move. Move. But if I move from here, then really everything else doesn't move. Especially if I'm loose and relaxed. Now I'm moving middle pivot, a little bit over here, and then make sure you let your leg be operate like it's built to operate, which is not like a stilt. We're not locking the leg. We're releasing a little bit into the spring-like quality of the leg. See if you can add this swivel. See how I'm moving this empty foot. Eventually it can do all this without losing equilibrium. And then change. So from your middle pivot, now this is your full, this is your empty. So this is your secret Tai Chi that you can do out in the wild. Do it out at the checkout counter, just keeping a non-stagnated, non-stuck state, this loose, pliable, changeable quality. And if this is all you did, you'd be doing yourself a huge service, but then we have exercises that keep going up the ladder. Now, change your weight to your left leg, right foot empty, lift the heel, try to get to the very tip of the shoe. You don't have to leave the ground yet, but just get to the tip of the shoe and then heel back down. Change. The weight goes down through the right leg, left leg empty. We go lift to the tip of the shoe and down. And then change from that middle pivot, full empty. Empty leg has buoyancy and levity. And then we change. Lift, lower, change. Lift, lower, change. Lift, lower, change. Now stay in your left, hand on the chair so you can lift to the tippy toe, disconnect the foot from the floor, place the whole foot back down without any weight, change. 100% down through the right leg, get to the tippy toe of the left, disconnect, place the foot down, change. Eventually that can become smooth where it's just tippy toe lift. Then change, tippy toe lift. And change, tippy toe lift. So each of these exercises has levels inside of them that you can add to the challenge. Loose and heavy and soft. And working on this change. Now go for the third level of full lift. Tippy toe lift. Hand on chair to allow you that full range. All the way down. Change. Tippy toe lift. Full lift. All the way soft and loose. Change from the middle. Change. 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 Next exercise. Take a step back from the chair, but have it in front of you off to the right. Put all your weight in that left leg. Put your right foot in front, heel touching, no body weight. The weight goes down through the right leg as you shift into it. That moved you forward. The weight goes down to the earth through the left leg. That moves you backwards. So the primary direction is down through the front leg, down through the back leg. Can you get to full empty or mountain and cloud, and then from the middle pivot, change that completely to front leg mountain, back leg cloud. And then back leg mountain, front leg cloud. Let's add the challenge. Hand on that chair, your front leg, a cloud, lift, lower, and then shift. Now make that front leg the mountain, back leg empty, bend at the knee, this little flamingo lift. Put the toe down behind you and change. Now the back leg becomes that sturdy leg, so the front leg is free. Change, all from the middle pivot. So the middle pivot is that equilibrium place that if everything's loose, doesn't mean sloppy. Loose means not clenched, not tense. Doesn't mean bleh. It means ooh, floating, spacious, soft. As my teacher says, nothing extra. And Lana, I'm reminded what's really important for you is not being in this state. Because if you're in this state doing the exercise, that's where that back pain just gets worse, worse, and worse. You have to find this. You have to get the butt under, right? And it doesn't mean you're tucking it with a bunch of force. It just means you're not allowing it to do that. And we can be so accustomed to this feeling that we don't even know that this is a thing. So taking this hand back there and running it down like so along the lumbar sacrum, you'll feel if you've created a little hooked up tail bridge. So you got to get that through line, right? Now, we've got this lift, lower, shift, flamingo, down, shift. Now, hand on that chair for sure so you can go full lift, heel touch soft, change. You notice I'm not taking huge steps. It's not important that my feet be far away from each other. In fact, the closer together, the better in a way, so that I can keep a confident quality of soft, loose, and vertical. Right? Up, down, in front, a little in front, and then change. Feel that down through. And then forward and up. Back, change. Weight down, lift, lower, down, forward and up, back. All right, now let's go to the other side. Step out, change the weight, get closer to this side chair. First exercise, put all the weight into your right leg, put the left foot in front, empty. So mountain, cloud, middle equilibrium point, middle pivot. Then down through the front leg. So it's a yin to yang change or a full to empty change, and then a full to empty change. Usually people are stuck half in, half out, 80-20, whatever. So what we're really going for is, can you get 100, 0, and then all the way back to the other state, 100, 0. And it's our fear and caution that kind of keeps us like staying sort of in the middle and we stay stuck versus, no, get 100, 0. And then 100, 0. Loose, vertical but not held. Now, hand on chair so we can go float that front leg as it's the cloud, and then change so it's mountain, cloud, and then go bend the knee, toe down, and then change, lift, lower. And don't get caught up in forward and backward, just think down, which gives you the freedom for the up. If you get the down right, then all kinds of different movement becomes available. The hallmark slowness of Tai Chi practice is not slowness for slowness' sake. Now here we go. Let's bring left knee up, down, change. Make sure you're using the chair to give you the vertical, to give you the confidence to be relaxed. So that's what, if you have a walker, if you have a cane, whenever I'm working with people who have these tools, really, they're great tools. The problem is when we start to use them in such a way that it breaks down our integrity of structure. So if you use the walker or the chair to keep you upright, to give you confidence to practice the correct form, then they're very, very valuable. And last one here. All right, to the other side again. Let's go one step further, no pun intended. Put all the weight into your left leg, put the right foot in front. Now we go down through the front leg, mountain and cloud. The cloud foot has the freedom to step. So just challenge yourself in this way here, where you're going toe, heel. Notice that my body isn't changing its place in space. I'm not changing my body weight. There's just this movement. And then go forward. Now change back. So again, your outside leg there is, this is your full leg, and then just soft and loose. Step back, right? Step back, and then change. So this is mountain. This is empty. Change. Step, loose, relax. Change. Now this one's empty. And then change, step, change. Slow down enough to actually get 100% and 0, and then 100% and 0. You develop a confidence to say, oh yeah, that is where I should go. I should get 100, 0, and then 100, 0, and then 100, 0 from the middle. Level 2, hand on chair, lift, lower, shift, step over something, and then shift. Flamingo, touch, shift. If this foot is empty, it's a cloud. Your middle equilibrium, your spot that gives you the balance you're looking for. Lift, lower, change, step over something. Change, flamingo. Back, up, tuck, reach, change, lift, lower, change, over, change, lift, lower. Again, change. And then finally, full lift, lower, change, and then this full range where you go heel to butt, knee up, foot out, lower, shift, and then this knee forward and up, back, shift. Now this knee up, tuck, reach, shift. The weight going down and staying down is this freedom. So if this is done right from the middle, then this has freedom. And then you got to do it right through the other leg so that this can have freedom. And you got to do it right through this leg. So you slow down enough to develop that. And you get that developed, all kinds of different options open up. But usually we never take the time to slow down, soften, get this fundamental. It's like if you don't know the ABCs, you can't make up a word, and you definitely can't write a sentence, let alone poetry, right? Which is what Tai Chi is. It's this poetic expression of movement, but you can't do that without the alphabet. Switch sides. Put all the weight into your right leg, left foot in front. Level 1, it's just this change. Now, just work on this loose, 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 loose. Because a lot of times when we step the foot forward, we're tight, and so then our body gets pulled forward. You want to be able to step either forward or backward, and you don't go anywhere at all. No change of yourself in space, no change of where your weight is. Then, the weight going down through that leg, that's what brings you forward. Down through the leg moves you back, step, down. So it's down, down. How do we get down? By letting go. Letting go without crumpling. So we have to do appropriate alignment and then releasing. Sounds easy. Requires a lot of attention. Attention to detail. When your body, like for Lana, when you always bring up your lower back, that's your sign. That's like a siren going off, saying something is stuck, something is out of position. And so then responding by going, oh yeah, remember that throughness. Or if we're starting to feel clumsy up top, we're probably holding some tension up here. We go, oh yeah, let go, relax. Let's go level 2, hand on chair. Lift, lower, shift. Now step over something. Loose, relax, change. Flamingo, we'll bend to the knee. Toe down, and then we change. Hand on chair as needed so you can lift, tuck, reach, change. Weight down, gives you the freedom to lift, lower, change. Step over. A few more. Middle equilibrium. No. Allows the up. And full range. Lift, lower, change. The weight going down allows the freedom for that full range. Down. Down. Gives you the freedom for full range. Down. So it's down through here, and then the trick is get it down through the other so that this is free. And then get it down through there. This is free. Middle pivot retains its steadiness. One. To the left side of your space. Chair should be on your left, face down range. You got a runway in front. Level 1, put all the weight in the right leg, left foot in front. Shift, step, shift. The smaller the step, the better in the beginning, so that you remain confident to just be vertical and relaxed. Shift. Step without shifting the weight. Shift. Step the toe behind you, touch lightly, and then shift. So take exactly the size of step that allows you to do it without changing the weight. Then shift. 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 Forward. Shift. Step without shifting. Shift. So the movement forward in space happens when you go down through the new leg. When you step, there isn't any movement forward through space, and then it's down through the new leg. That moves you forward. Step without moving forward, then change. Eventually that becomes one smooth gesture, but you have to find this separation of, okay, I've rooted, and then I step without getting stuck to that foot, and then you go down through the new leg, and that moves you backwards. And then you step without moving, and then the movement happens with the down, step, down, down, down. As you get more comfortable, what will happen if you just watch me do a couple, watch me. So instead of this small step, right, that's where we start, but I can start to take bigger strides, and it will look like I'm going forward, but that's where people get in trouble. They go, I'm taking a big step, and they're pitching forward. So there's momentum going that way. That'll get you in trouble backwards and forwards, versus the big step, but I'm still just down. Big step, down. Big step, down. Right? Down. I might take a bigger step behind me, but it's down that my directionality goes. Big step, down, down. So if you want to try a couple bigger strides, do it, and go slow enough, again, that you can go, boom, down to the earth. Boom. So you should be able to take a big stride and not tip forward because you direct it down, not forward. Same thing backwards. Be careful going backwards. It's a little trickier, right? but down, down, down. So it's a bigger stride, but to the earth. Bigger stride to the earth. Bigger stride. And that's essentially what running is. Down to the earth, down to the earth, down to the earth, down, down, down. So if it took you 10 steps to get across this distance, can you do it in 6 or 7? Can you possibly do it in 4, right? Where it's stride, stride, stride. I just did it in 3. But the whole time you're going down, 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 and you're just utilizing pliability, because what I often see with people is when they try to quote unquote speed up, they think it's more steps. And with Parkinson's, that's why it's so stark that when the hurrying tries to happen, a lot of times it'll get to where there's no movement happening because there's a hurrying. So then the person gets, at the extreme level, stuck in place versus let go, by Gail, let go, and speed is now achieved through looser, more limber qualities of the limbs going, oh yeah, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So just do a couple more where you get this full range walking. Challenge yourself. Can you still feel the middle equilibrium organizing everything around it? Because guaranteed, let's say you're at a crosswalk and the light changes for you and it's time to go, and everyone moves really fast, and then you get a little concerned, and then you get stuck, and then you're trying to, versus going, oh yeah, it's actually about being loose, relaxed, and sort of loping across that space. That's the best way to do it. All right. Now, to finish, we'll just do a little bit of a leg, hip finishing series. So, turn your chair like this and face forward. So now we're both facing the same direction, like so. And then what you're going to do is take all your weight into your right leg, put your left foot behind, touch the toe, and then press that heel down, and you'll get a little calf stretch, Achilles stretch, and a little hip flexor stretch on this side hip. And then release it, step back to center, put all the weight in your left leg, step behind, and press. Release, step parallel, shift the weight, step behind, touch the toe, press, release, touch the foot down, step behind, touch the toe, and then press, release, step, change the weight, touch. Do that a few more times. So your middle remains your middle. You're touching, pressing, releasing, stepping. This comes from silk reeling qigong. This is the lower body series. Middle pivot. Okay, now from here, turn and face forward. So be on the, what is that? Your left side of the chair. And your left leg, turn it out, lift, bring it in, bring it down. Turn it out, lift, bring it in, down. So the leg is straight, turn it externally. Lift it up while it's external, and then close, down, open, lift, close, down, and open, lift, close, down, open, lift, close, down. Same leg, other direction. Turn on the ball of the foot. See this little swivel? Bring the knee across, up, and then open, down. Now here you turn on the ball of the foot. The heel goes out. Bring the knee across and up, and then open, down. Turn. Inside out, spiral. Turn. Turn. Two more. Turn. Turn. Switch sides. This for balance. All your weight in your inside leg close to the chair. Your outside leg from the straight long position, externally rotate. Bring it up. Internally rotate, down. Externally rotate, up. Internal, down. So just keep thinking separation. You're separating these parts. Because the problem is either through tightness or collapse, the body gets stuck together. So a living body, think more like an infant, like a baby. They're not stuck together at all. They're juicy and fluid, right? And problem with a baby is that they're not developed. There's not coordination. But we want to retain that youthful looseness as best we can. Same leg, other direction. Turn on the ball of foot. Internal, bring the knee across and up. External, down. So the hips and this leg and the body are more or less stable. This is the prime moving piece that we are separating. Right? Turn. Out. Turn. Middle. Even though there's movement throughout all the parts, that's another saying in Taoist practice. When one part of the body moves, every part of the body moves. But it's in response to it. It's sort of like reactionary balance equilibrium. But inside of that is this quality of stillness, which is such a wonderful feeling. To have freedom of movement to change and go down and up and open and close and all this stuff. Whereas here, there's this steadiness. So finishing, hands come together. Rub your palms. Rub the back of one hand. Palms. Back of other hand. Palm. The quad, the groin area. Hands. Just to take any compression, congestion, overuse, and just get it to flow through. Just through. And then hip flexors, same idea. Any tension that's here, just get it to flow through. And then sacrum, tail, lumbar. And then that squat where we hinge and slide the hands down, come around to the inside, come up the inside to the navel. And again, quad or inguinal crease, hip flexors, tail, lumbar, yang channels, yin channels, navel, quad, hip flexor, sacrum, tail, lumbar, outer channels, inner channels, neutral, and then outer channels to the shoulder, inner channels and off. Repeat on the same arm. Outer, inner. Remember with this one, there's a whole path over the shoulder that then circles around and comes down the inside. So get around, down. Go slow enough to be thorough. Then that can happen with swiftness. Switch. Outer, over that shoulder, around to the inside, turn in, off. Outer, inner, outer, inner. Bounce. Settle, let everything settle down. The sediment goes below. What's left is loose, pliable. And then closing. Wing, roll, fold. Settle to the belly. And you seal the practice right over the navel. 1, 2. Thank you, everybody. Little hand position. Closing. Have a wonderful day. Any questions, feel free to unmute yourself.
Otto, I'm having a lot of trouble with pressure on to bend over when I'm working in the kitchen or doing almost anything.
Yeah.
Find my head falling into the soup bowl.
How do you mean exactly?
I think it's very common in Parkinson's. People can feel a pressure to lean forward. You're not familiar with that?
Well, no, I'm familiar, but I'm trying to understand exactly what you mean. So you're saying when you're sitting or when you're standing or what?
Either way.
Either way, you're just kind of.
I'm working on something in front of me, like chopping vegetables or washing dishes. And I gradually.
Yeah. Does it feel like you're falling asleep, or it's just kind of
a
weightedness?
It's just a pressure that I find hard to resist.
Pressure, like from behind pushing or from a heaviness in front?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, examine it. But what I would say, usually what needs to happen is the goal is vertical, effortless vertical, so that we're relaxed and we've got good equilibrium everywhere. But normally people aren't going like this in Parkinson's, right? They're not falling backwards, and that's also true in just the aging process. It's the same thing. What you see is this, right? Part of that's because as the Taoists say, the front of our body opens and closes. This is where the room is. Our body's built to do all this stuff in front and not the same behind us, right? That's kind of obvious. We're not doing everything back here. Doesn't mean we can't reach back. So that's why sometimes doing exercises like we do, where we close all the way, you go towards the position that you're going, and then you make sure to go all the way back, further back than the middle. Because that's the problem. If we only go back to this middle, then we're always going this way, and then we're fighting. We have to get back all the way so that the middle can be somewhere that we can rest. So whether it's your head that needs to go back, right? That's why we do that on the Friday class. We go all the way back as far as you can, so that, okay, when you come forward, there's more of a chance that middle will actually be the middle. So I would say that your best bet is daily, regular, getting this away from, and lying down on the ground to let yourself rest back, and doing exercises like we do where we're arching and getting your head back and scapula back, but also going into that shape that you're being pulled towards and then pulling back all the way from it. So that idea with every mechanism in our body, that's the underlying theory of how you upkeep this vehicle through your life. So anything that's just getting stuck and going, you got to apply the opposite. But sometimes, like if my shoulders are up like this and I keep trying to bring them down, Well, actually, I need to take them all the way up so that they satisfy that direction, and then they're more capable of coming down. So if you're going forward, 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 you might go, okay, all the way forward. Try not to drown in your soup bowl, but all the way forward, and then all the way back, and then back more than you think you would normally go. Try to do that 5 times or something before you come back to chopping your vegetables. So if you see it happening, feel it happening, okay, say, okay, 5 of these. 1, back, 2, back. Try to get that spectrum opened up, and then you might find the middle. So that's what comes to
Cool.
my mind.
Okay,
That's
great.
the theory.
That's intelligent.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, y'all.
I have a quick question.
Sure. Yeah.
If you could, I go into hyperflexion of my
Oh,
knee.
yeah.
If you could just comment, oh, keep a little bend in your knee when we're doing whatever we're doing with
All
our
the things. Yeah.
all the weight. Should I be hyperextended? No, I don't think so. Just
Never. Yeah, never.
okay. I just
Never
thought if you mention it,
hyperextended.
then I'll
Never.
remember it.
I'll try to comment on it. And that's very common with the people who do the same thing in the back that you do.
Uh-huh.
That's very common. This plus locked knees happens a lot. So when you bring this tail down, you see what my knees just did there?
Yeah.
They soften, they have a little give. I'm not pushing on them, I'm just letting that have that mechanism. And so make that your homework where you're going, okay, tail down, knees a little bit soft. And then this practice for you is really important, even though it seems sort of overly simple. Just going, okay, more weight in one leg, and notice that you'll probably try to lock, and then you say, no, don't do that. And then you see if you can get 5 reps where you change full to empty, empty to full, where the knees never lock. And it's just change, change. And you keep the knees that little soft bend, and there will probably be some quiver. Meaning, if you've locked and hyperextended your legs, you've been using that for your stability. So when you take that away, there's going to be sleeping muscle groups that need to get online. And so spending time in the quivering knee, quivering leg, so that you start to realize, oh yeah, I can rely on that bent knee position instead of that locked knee position. Makes sense, yeah?
Yep. Thank you.
All right, do it 1,000,000 times before I see you again.
1,000,000.
1,000,000 at least, minimum.
At least. Thank you.
All right, off to my next thing, y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Later, Chris. Good to see you.